Hello everyone and welcome to the channel. If you enjoyed today's content, please click like, subscribe, and turn on the notification bell. Please share the video to your friends and family if you think this is something they would be interested in. Today's lesson is all about making comparisons using adjectives and adverbs. Many people get confused between an adjective and an adverb. An adjective is really a word that describes a person, place, or thing, or it modifies a person, place, or thing. An adverb, on the other hand, is used to modify a verb, which is an action. So let's take a look at the first example. He is a fast runner. So fast is an adjective to describe a person, which is a runner. In the second example, he runs fast. So runs is the verb, fast is the adverb to describe the action run. Let's take a look at the first way that we can compare things and say that they are the same or equal. The format that you need to use is as blank as. In between, you can put either an adjective in its base form or an adverb in its base form. Let's take a look at the first example. Lizzie is as beautiful as her mother. This means that Lizzie and her mother are equally beautiful, or they are the same. In the second example, we're going to put an adverb, and this adverb is quietly. So, the students are working as quietly as they can. We can also add modifiers like just, nearly, and almost. Just means exact, nearly and almost means a small amount. Although these modifiers are not really required, it can just make your sentence more precise. Now, to make this negative or to mean that these two are not the same, all we do is add not after the auxiliary verb. So to change the first example, we can say Lizzie is not as beautiful as her mother, which means that they are not equal. This also means that her mother is more beautiful than Lizzie. We can also do the same for the second example, so we can say that the students aren't working as quietly as they can. You can contract the auxiliary verb and the word not to make you sound more fluent. We can also use modifiers like quite and nearly for the negative. To make comparisons, usually we add or er or r to an adjective, or we add the word more before the adjective. In the first example, Paul is taller than his brother. So tall is our base adjective and we just added er, so it became taller. In the second example, this office is more spacious than ours. So here we added the word more before the adjective spacious. It is also important to note that when you're making a comparison, you have to use than after the adjective. Bigger than, taller than, more beautiful than, and so on and so on. Don't use both of them together because they will sound really redundant and incorrect. Don't say more taller or more spaciouser because these are incorrect. So how do we know whether we're going to use er or we're going to use more when we're making a comparison? Here are some basic rules. So if the adjective has one syllable, just add r if it ends in e, or er if it does not end in e. So old becomes older, strange, stranger, dry, change y to I, then add er, so drier. But if your adjective has two syllables, like gore just, gorgeous. Here we need to add more gorgeous. However, for those that end in Y, we can still use the same one that we used for the one-syllable adjective, which is change Y to I and add ER. So busy becomes busier. However, for some adjectives like simple or gentle, we can use both. We can say we can add more or we can add R. More simple or simpler. But there are only a few adjectives that make use of both more or ER. Then if you have adjectives with 3 or more syllables like colorful, enchanting, relevant, all you need to do is to add more. So the safest way to form a comparative with adjectives that have 2 or more syllables is by simply adding the word more before the adjective. Finally, for irregular adjectives, you just need to memorize it. Good, better, and then the superlative is the best. Bad, worse, and then the superlative is the worst. For adverbs that end in ly, like slowly or gently, just add the word more before the adverb. If the adverb has 1 syllable, like near or low, just add er, similar to our adjectives. And then there are also irregular adverbs, like well and badly. So well becomes better, and then the superlative is the best. Badly becomes worse in the comparative, and then the worst in the superlative. Finally, here are some simple things that you have to remember when you want to complete a comparative. You can use a subject pronoun after than to make it formal, or you can use an object pronoun to make it informal. So, I am taller than he is, or I am taller than him. It's a lot easier to use the informal one because we're just using an object pronoun to complete our comparative. The next one is by using an auxiliary verb for the subject after than. So, he works faster than I do, or Tom is faster than I am. Lastly, you can use a possessive noun or pronoun after than. So, Philip's task is harder than mine, or Lewis's house is bigger than Kenny's. Whichever way you choose, just make sure that you are completing your sentence or sentences so that the listener can understand you clearly. So that's it for today. If you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. I'll get to them as soon as I can, and I hope that you keep practicing your English anytime you have the chance to do so. So goodbye for now, thank you very much, and I'll see you on the next video.